Imagine you're standing in the middle of a dense African forest more than 7 million years ago. No cities, no language, no tools, only the wind, the trees, and the creatures just beginning to take their first steps on two legs. A strange being, small, slightly hunched, with a large head, sloping forehead, and protruding face, slowly moves through a patch of dry leaves. It doesn't know that these very steps will one day change the course of Earth's history. Its name, given much later by modern humans, is Sahelanthropus cadensis, or more fondly, Tumai, meaning hope of life in the local language of Chad. Cut to a shot of a fossil skull under dim golden light on a laboratory table. Archaeologists discovered Tumai's skull in the Jurub Desert of northern Chad, a place that was once a lush, humid forest teeming with life. The skull was no larger than an orange, with a brain volume of only about 350 cubic centimeters, less than half that of a modern chimpanzee. But what stunned scientists was the position of the foramen magnum, the hole where the spinal cord connects to the skull. It was located in the center of the skull's base, not toward the back like in apes. This means Tumai walked upright on two legs. And that was the first sign. He was no longer entirely an ape. Voiceover, faster, with a tone of curiosity. But Tumai wasn't the only one in this story. After him came many other ancient humans, each a new chapter in the endless book of human evolution. Around 4 million years ago, in East Africa, there lived Australopithecus afarensis, the famous early human species represented by the skeleton Lucy, discovered in Ethiopia. Lucy stood just over 1 meter tall, weighing less than 30 kilograms, yet she was an expert at walking on two legs. She could climb trees, pick fruit, and walk across the savanna in search of food. A creature standing on the threshold between ape and human, unable to speak, but already learning to survive through intelligence. As the African sun scorched the earth, Lucy and her kind moved in groups, foraging while keeping a wary eye on predators. It was in this harsh environment that the first sparks of human intelligence began to grow. 1 million years later, Lucy was gone, but from her shadow emerged a new species. Homo habilis, the handyman. They were the first humans to create tools. They picked up stones, struck them, sharpened their edges to cut meat and bones. Though still covered in hair and living in caves, their hands had begun to work miracles. Fire they were learning to turn nature into tools. Then, about 1.8 million years ago, came Homo erectus, the upright man. This marked a revolutionary turning point in the history of evolution. And so, over millions of years, dozens of ancient humans were born, survived, and vanished. Each species left behind a trace, a bone, a footprint, a stone tool, and a small chapter in the grand story of humankind. But here's the fascinating part. When we think of the first humans, most of us picture Homo sapiens, that is, us. In reality, Homo sapiens appeared only about 300,000 years ago, meaning very late in the millions-year-long timeline of humanity. If we imagine the entire history of evolution as a 24-hour day, Homo sapiens would appear in only the final few minutes before midnight. Before that, countless other humans had already lived, beings who could stand, walk, and use fire, but who have long been forgotten. Homo erectus not only crafted more sophisticated stone axes but also mastered fire. Fire allowed them to cook food, stay warm through the night, and fend off wild beasts. Thanks to fire, they lived longer, grew stronger, and had time to think, to imagine. From there, Homo erectus began to leave Africa, spreading across Asia and Europe. Their footprints have been found in China, Indonesia, and Georgia, proof that early humans were far more adventurous and adaptable than we ever imagined.